Yo, YouTube people, this is my select few that watch this. It's so funny. Just to go on a quick tangent right now, and I'm not even nobody special. I'm nobody big. I'm a nobody, right? But I was just thinking about how, like, just thinking about how, things I've said, and then it's like I've said it years and years before, or people I know have said things and they're not big, and it's like, and I'm not even trying. And this is all going into the narcissism combat, because it's like the title of the video is narcissism is a strength, and I just want to talk about narcissism. But I was debating it last night, like, is that narcissistic to want, I don't want fame, nothing, but it's just like, people are the same people who are saying what I'm saying, and people who I talk to, like when I go live with Taylor and stuff, they're getting rich off this stuff, but they're not. But the problem is, they're not saying it in the way we're saying it. You know what I mean? They're saying it in a hand-me-down version that's just like tailored for everyone, and they're like, it's just so watered down and for everybody. And then like if you find like Taylor, for example, me or Kensu, or any of the big people, the Layla Africas and all them, and any of those people that you find, like, their audiences are slimmer, they're not wealthy off of it. And it's just funny because it's just like there's the real messages being preached, but they're not going to get big off it. I just want to be able to live comfortably and not have to work. That's all that comes from. It's not no narcissism or nothing like that. But anyway, I was just talking about it, but I want to just talk about narcissism and stuff like that. And I kind of want to just defend it in a sense of, like, narcissism is just a lack of awareness. It's just like an ego. Not everybody has an ego, and not everybody's narcissistic. And if you have both, which is what naturally, if you have an ego, you're narcissistic. You know what I mean? It's a natural. It's almost like if you're gonna play basketball, you're gonna learn to shoot, but you're also gonna learn how to lay up. And then it gets a little more difficult. You're gonna learn how to dribble with your right hand eventually, right? Just eventually, or your left hand, or whatever your opposite hand may be, right? Growing up playing sports, like, I tried them all. Like, if you're gonna play sports, you're gonna maybe try them all at one point. And I say that because narcissism is just like, it's just right on the path for you. And the reason why I say that is because, let's break it down. So ego, is basically an awareness. And then narcissism, narcissism isn't a lack of an awareness of what you're doing. So it's, the lower level of narcissism is just like, right, I'm going to do something, and then I'm going to blame you for it, even though I am the one who did it, but it's because I can manipulate your emotions, right? That's like the base level. They can manipulate your emotions. And then when you get to the mid-level, it's like they know they can get away with things consciously because they can control emotions. And then a top tier, manipulator, or whatever you want to say, but this is where I say narcissism is not real, in a sense, because every person, and it's funny because I was just talking about it with my friend, every, master, every teacher always wants to have a little test, a little fun, a little game. And you always, like, you throw a test question out randomly to see if they're paying attention, see if they're, going along. And that's the top tier level. It's because you already know the answer before they know the answer. So top tier narcissism, right? See, we're starting to realize that it's not really narcissism. It's just awareness of everything. Ego and narcissism eventually makes you into a it's like lower levels of being a spiritual being. Like, you need to master your ego and master your narcissism to then even be able to evolve into the next being, right? Because then it's for good, right? The lower level is for bad, right? Your ego is just like a plaything. I always say this all the time. Well, your ego is just a baby. Your ego is just like, oh, they're playing basketball? I can be better than them at basketball. Let me go play basketball. That's your ego. I just want to be better than everybody. I need to get rich, famous, blah, 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 blah. And narcissism, you combine that, and if you have some narcissism, your narcissism comes in as like, yeah, I'm going to make everybody believe I'm this person. I'm going to make everyone believe I'm this person, right? So to combine that with the ego is like, I want to be that person. Then your narcissism, I'm going to make everybody believe. So it's like a deadly combo, right? And then, that's a low level, though. Then when you get to the max, the top tier level, you put all your points in that, that umbrella, right? You skill tree like a video game, because it's a video game. Real shit, this is a video game. You put all your points there, right? You max you max your levels out, and what happens? Your narcissism and your ego turn into, all right, man, I have this ability that now, because now you mastered your emotions. You mastered your emotions, so mastering your emotions is just mastering everybody else's emotions, because this is something I say all the time. There's no such thing as everybody's going through different things. It's all the same thing. It just may look different. Emotions are all the same. So mastering your emotions means you master somebody else's emotions, and you know exactly how they can feel in any time, any given moment. So when you master yourself, you master everybody else too. So an example of that is, I'm out to dinner with a friend, and I'm just being honest. They might even see this video, and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" But like, doesn't matter. Out to dinner with a friend, and they were feeling a type of way about them dating this girl, because they thought we were judging her and stuff, because they don't believe what we believe, right? Like obviously, like they got some stuff that we don't approve of, and it doesn't matter to us, though. That's your life. Live your life. So, and they're not very verbal, because they always feel like they're being judged and shit like that. But that comes from a lack of awareness, right? So I basically came in this situation and said, because like I said, master this. So you would say this is narcissism or manipulation, but it's not. I said exactly every single thing they wanted to hear. They didn't even speak. I said every single thing they wanted to hear, and they all agreed. And he all agreed, and then he was like, and he felt instantly better. So, and the reason why I do that, and this is like I watched so many kung fu Asian, Chinese movies growing up, always the master, always, I'm not saying I'm a master, but I'm saying the master used to always test the student. He'd be like, you want to fight them? And I'm just saying an example of just like, I can't remember the scene, but, in one of the movies, he literally is like, I know what you want to do in this moment. And he was seeing if the boy was going to be like, yes, or yeah, like, F you, I'm going to leave. And he basically tells the boy, like, you should go do this. Like, you should go get revenge. And then the boy was like, yeah. And then, like, he almost takes off. And then he goes, but, like, what? Like, that's where the awareness steps in. But why would my master want me to go get revenge and potentially risk my life? And that's when he goes, and then even he goes, okay, I got you. You're here. You're aware now. You passed the test. We're going to handle this together, right? It's a common thing. Like, that is a thing, but it's coming from a place of caring. If you care and you want them to be on the same level, you're going to ask them questions and test them and see if they're paying attention. But in that scenario where it's like, I said everything they wanted to hear and they just confirmed and then they felt better, that means the awareness isn't there. You know what I mean? And that's like one of those moments where, like if the boy went to go fight and died, then the master's not going to feel bad. He's going to feel upset. Yeah, but that's that at the end of the day, that's their decision to make, right? Everybody has free will. So, like I said, the narcissism, that's just like the max level of it, is being able to control other people's decisions for them. You can walk into a room, already know exactly how everybody's thinking and feeling about you, and then it's up to you to, so then in that situation, what do you do? And that's how you can maneuver and manipulate a room in your advantage. So, like I said, it may look and seem that way, but like a low level is like, like our parents, you're narcissistic for I did all this for you. They make you feel bad because of what they did for you and things like that, even though there was their decision, right? Top tier, max level, it's like you already know what everyone's thinking, feeling, doing, and it's up to you to manipulate and control that outcome. And the reason why you want to do that in the first place is because a lot of these people ain't real and human in the first place. And souls, it may sound evil and mean, they're not on that level. And you don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? I'm being just for real right now. Like, why would you worry about how somebody's going to view you? Or if they don't even have the consciousness to know that they got manipulated. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be like, yo, I can play this whole scene, but that's not you just controlling the outcome for their best interest, right? You're like, man, if you're not able to, like, for example, like me and my friend test each other all the time. Because it's in hopes of, if we're going to be on the same path, we got to keep each other in check, right? We got to keep each other, checks and balances, right? I'm not saying you lead people astray. I'm just saying you got to keep people. And I'm saying this specifically to the chosen ones. You know, if you're watching this video and you understand what I'm saying, resonate and everything, that this is specifically for you. Because no matter where you go, the people are going to look at you wrong, judge you, and, you know, and then that's when this is how you maneuver this. You know, this is how you maneuver. My friend's really good at it too. Like, you know, you kind of play dumb. You act like you don't know nothing. Hey, because this is how it works, bro. Let's get deeper. Let's get real deeper. They know that they know that you know. I'm gonna do that. They know that you know that you have powers, right? You can do that. And your whole goal is to act like you don't have them. And that you're not shining as bright as you are. Because, see, the reason why they see you right away is because they notice that your light is much brighter than, you know, everybody's. There's a level. So, like I said, these beings, maybe they're not really human, they're soulless, or maybe they do have a soul, but they can recognize the light within you. And when they recognize the light within you, they're instantly drawn to you. But when they're drawn to that light, it's like this. It's still like, you're like this. So it's like, why are you making me do this to you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not hate, it's just like, why? They're making me mad. So then you can dim your light a little. And then and I'm not saying you don't even want to be around these people anyway, but I'm saying, like, if you're in a work scenario or some things that you have to bide time, and you have to bide time to get through, you know what I mean, a certain situation, maybe a living situation, man, I gotta live with these people, but if I act the way I truly act, they're not gonna like me, they might kick me out or something like that, or, hey, I'm at work, I gotta just get these checks and then I can move out, you know, whatever you gotta do. But you dim your light, you play dumb a little bit, and then by doing that, they go, oh, I'm better. No, I am better than them. I am better. So, see, that's the first thing, that their ego is like, wait, I'm not better than this person. Instantly, I'm not better than this person. Because men and women, they do that with each other, right? Man can look at another man and be like, I'm not better than him, or something like that. But then they instantly ego come out. No, I can be better than them. But they see that, then they backtrack a little bit, and you dumb yourself down. You fit in, you get everybody on your side, and the next thing you know, you manipulating it from behind the scenes, like low level emotions, like, because all they know is, like, you know, funny, happy, sad, like, they don't really know complex and how to control their own emotions, right? So then you direct their emotions and feelings towards certain things. Listen, I know this might sound crazy. This might sound like I'm a evil genius, but it's not, because this is what people are doing on the regular. This combo right here I'm having. I have a homie right now. This is regular. If you can't do this, this is like, I don't even know how you're making it. I mean, no, it's actually technically easier for you if you don't have this problem, because then it's like you one of the bots, and then nobody's paying attention to you. And just because we have these powers doesn't mean nothing. And that's why I was saying, go back to the beginning of my video, and this is how I'll wrap it up. Just because we have these powers, I mean, it's just like, you know, Taylor just said it. He made a post. He's like, speaking this to somebody who doesn't understand is like speaking a totally another language. Like, if I try to explain my mom's narcissism to herself, but all she knows is a base level of emotion. Like, for example, what I mean by that, I should go back and explain this. So base level of emotion is they only know how to react when they feel the emotion. And what I mean by feel is they do an action and then I get angry. They can only know how to handle the situation when the person physically does the reaction, you know, and the emotion. People like us, we already know what's going to happen. We know how they're going to react. And we already ran through the scenario. And we already ran, you know, everything through it. And that's why that's the difference. But I say that all because it's like, going back to my point one, it's like, just because we know this shit, and just because we have these abilities and able to verbalize these things, man, it really doesn't even matter at this point, you know? Like, when people mention new conspiracies and, bro, like, what is that doing for me? You know what I mean? At this point, the only thing that's important right now, you know, even like Taylor's downfall is like he always is only worried about politics. Same with Kensu. their downfalls are they are so wrapped up in politics, and it's like at the end of the day, man, it is written. Like, it's written. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. There's no, you just play your part. I mean, clearly, if it's just funny because it's like, how can you be born, and we know all this knowledge, right? We know what's gonna happen. Not in the sense we know what's gonna happen with our lives, but we understanding that, you know, when we come through in this life, we sign the contract, bro, just like an NBA all-star. Hey, man, look, you come down. Look, I had a conversation with God himself. I said, God, or the creator, whatever you want to call him. I said, creator, so what am I about to go down here and do? He's like, yo, you about to go wake up your family, you about to wake up some people. You're not going to get no bitches. No, I'm playing. He's like, you're not going to have no money. You're not going to get no wealth, no fame, no nothing, because all you're going to do is be trying to wake up all the chosen ones. And if I gave you, listen, and if I gave you money, cars, fame, women, you wouldn't wake up any chosen ones. And then I'm like, it makes sense. That's why you're the creator for real. That's why you're so smart for real. And then, you know, they're like, I know. And then I go, okay, all right, easy. So I just go down there and wake some people up. And they're like, yeah, it's going to be easy. Look, they sent me out the door, and they're like, I forgot to tell them, you know, when they get money and all this, like, it's going to be tough. You know? So, and that's where we're at right now. So, you know, that's why it's like hard not to get jealous. Not jealous, but it's like, damn, man. Because I just saw this tweet from yesterday. It's like, it was like, I literally tweeted about it, and it's like, man, I tweet this shit and I look like an alien. You know what I mean? It was like, I talked about how, like, you know, when you take stimulants, you're borrowing energy from the future, you know, to survive this matrix, you know, which is ultimately just feeding your persona. I said it too complicated. I said the word persona and matrix in the bitch. That's too complicated. What I see a tweet. I believe when you take stimulants, you are borrowing energy from like a future timeline you, and blah, blah, blah. And the tweet blows up. And I'm like, bro, I tweeted this a year ago. And it's funny because I've been had that thought, you know, we've been had those thoughts, but it's just like, I'm just tweeting it now. You know what I mean? And it's just like, bro, I can't even break it down to the level where they can understand it. I guess I'm doomed in a sense. But I guess I'm not, because like I think about it all the time, man. Imagine if I were to be you know, I think about like because you know I was big into video games and shit like that. Like, imagine if I did become a professional video game player like all the people now. It's like, oh, well then I wouldn't have been doing this. So it's like, whatever, man. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm waking up some people, yeah. You know, I get to have conversations with some, you know, students that I've waken up. You know, people, friends, and it's just like, all right, man. I guess that's what I got to do. I got to take them small wins. And that's what it is, you know. But we got to be okay with, you know, not being able to get to the masses, because it's just not going to be possible, you know. Like I said, I think this is overall a positive video. I think this is a good video. I think it's, like I said, it's nothing crazy, nothing brand new. Yeah, I think that was it. I don't know if I missed the point I was just talking about. Oh no, I was just breaking down how, like, oh, let me go back to the politics thing. So it's like, I said all that, like, we are aware that we signed the contract to come down here. We understand that we have a role to play. But then for some reason they get wrapped up in all these conspiracies and politics. Like, bro, if the system, it just looks different. It just looks different. Why are they wrapped up in that? I just don't get me. And don't hit me with the, well, this is the reality and we gotta live it and we gotta participate. Listen, it's written. I hate to break it down. I hate to be mean. Whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen. No matter, there's not enough real human beings here to to change any outcomes. I hate to be like that, but it's just true. You know, until we get to the point where there is enough real human beings, but right now there isn't. So there's no way to, you know, overturn that. But I'm saying, like, you know, like in the, you know, just like in the Bible says, you know, Satan has his rule and Jesus has, and God has his rule. So if it's Satan's rule, like whatever Satan wants to happen is going to happen. You know what I mean? You can't fight against it until God comes down, you know, the end of the world again, you know, the flood or whatever you want to say happens again, then it happens again. And obviously the flood is like metaphorical. Who knows? But It's just like, why get wrapped up in all that? You know, that's why I say I always come on here. I don't preach conspiracies. I don't preach politics or nothing like that. I preach how to deal with your emotions, how to be aware of your emotions, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. Mastering you is mastering everything else, because it's all you at the end of the day. All right, peace.